So I'm just going to quickly go through power supplies and energy consumption, regulatory efforts, the iWatt advantage, and why we're spending time with GreenPlug folks. It's amazing of all the presentations today that our numbers actually match up, because that's not very typical in an industry presentation like this. But there's actually about 3.3 billion power supplies shipped annually. The big bar is obviously all those portable devices that GreenPlug and iWatt are going to try to power in a common plug technology. There's been a lot of work by the regulatory agencies to start forcing improvements in power efficiency, and standby has been one of the biggest efforts going on in the last several years. You can see today, or in 2008, the projections are that standby power is going to be a small portion of the efficiency loss associated with the power supply, and the real big bar is still the active mode, which is where you want. There is still some opportunity in standby, and over the past 4 years at iWatt, we've been able to reduce the standby power by order of magnitude. Which is pretty good, and our customers are still looking for more improvement beyond that. I'm happy to say that the regulatory agencies have done a great job in pushing power supply efficiencies from a standby and conversion perspective. Those efficiencies, fortunately, are driving the utilization of our silicon, which is great for us. Even this past year, a large portion of the bricks in the market today use linear power supplies. As we continue to push the efficiency requirements, our silicon will be used more and more. Now, earlier, someone asked Frank if he was crazy or stupid. Since he's here, I can now talk about that. I don't think it's either one. I think it is a tough challenge that he's undertaken, but I don't think he's stupid. As I mentioned earlier, I think the problem is the power supplies are stupid, and until we start improving the ability of the power supplies to speak with the host device, will we get the real efficiency improvements that we're capable of getting to. So this is all great work, and it's all important, but there's another layer to the onion that needs to be peeled. From our perspective, if you look at just a 5% efficiency improvement in the power supplies that are going to ship next year, 5% is really tough as you start to get into the higher power levels, because the efficiency is already pretty good there now. But in the lower power, there's lots of opportunity to improve the efficiency. Currently, iWatt solutions are at least 3 to 5% higher efficiency than the regulatory requirements, and we're very proud of that. In our next generation, we plan to improve that even further. So you could eliminate 2 million cars just by improving the conversion efficiency by 5%. But here's the big nut with respect to improving efficiency, and I'm going to talk about what power factor correction is. The regulatory agencies require power factor correction above 75 watts today, and that's a good thing because that's where most of the action is. But you can see that there is a significant value, as the yellow bar describes, in putting power factor correction even in the lower power adapters from 10 up to 75 watts. You could save an additional 5 million, or take an additional 5 million cars off the road by putting power factor correction into these lower power supplies, and that's sort of weaves the web and why we're spending time working with GreenPlug. So power factor correction, and I think this was talked about earlier, so I'll briefly go through this, but it's basically as you transition from a linear power supply, which is taking energy from the source as it needs it, or as it can supply it, and switching to a switch mode power supply that's always asking for energy, you have an inefficiency or a distortion that you push back. So you take an extra 50% in some cases of additional power to take power away from the source as you need it, rather than as the source can provide it. So let me talk a little bit about the iWatt advantage, and then I'll get back to why we're working together with Greenplug. So our objective and our focus is on innovative power management solutions. We provide leading-edge IP, silicon, IP systems and silicon expertise. We develop customer-focused solutions. Myself, my engineering team spend a significant amount of time in Asia, where the majority of our customers are, in focused activities in making sure that we actually meet the performance objectives that we have. As a result of that hard work in our technology, we believe we deliver the best power density and the lowest BOM cost, and I'll show you some slides on how we go about doing that. It all starts with a core technology and an innovative technology at that. We have invented an adaptive digital control technology, which not only improves the conversion efficiency, but also eliminates a lot of the components that are needed in a traditional power supply. The untapped advantage that we haven't utilized yet is our ability to easily communicate to the host device.